Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program tonight, the top decision-making body of Muslims in India tells the Supreme Court that triple talaq, the Islamic practice that allows a man to divorce his wife by uttering talaq 3 times, cannot be legally scrutinized. Personal law laws, it's being argued, cannot be rewritten in the name of social reform. Now, those who oppose this include the Bengal-based woman Ishrat Jahan, who has lost custody of her 4 children after her husband said talaq on the phone. She, among so many others, says this is a violation of the Constitution according to at least 4 articles. On the program tonight, should parts of the Muslim personal law be rewritten in the name of social reform? Should triple talaq be banned?
You cannot rewrite Muslim personal laws in the name of social reform. The top decision-making body of Muslims in India adamant that legal scrutiny of triple talaq is not welcome. The Muslim Personal Law Board told the Supreme Court that Islam permits triple talaq and that the husband is in a better position to take a decision because they won't take a hasty decision, that courts can't impose their interpretation of scriptures, and that triple talaq is sourced from the Holy Quran and it doesn't fall within the expression of laws that can be challenged.
कि कानून से धर्म से छेड़छाड़ करने से मसला हल नहीं होने वाला। हर कोई अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएगा और वहाँ के जज साहिबान से ये तवक्के करेगा कि वो कुछ फैसला दे दें जिससे कि उनके घरेलू मसाइल ख़त्म हो जाएं, तो ऐसा होने वाले नहीं है।
जहाँ तक उलमा बोर्ड की बात है, आर्टिकल एज पर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमारा जो आर्टिकल 14 है उस हिसाब से तो हमारा फंडामेंटल राइट है कि बिल्कुल लॉ के हिसाब से हम लोग को इक्वल देखा जाएगा।
Meanwhile, Ishrat Jahan, one of the women to take on the powerful Muslim law board, says that thousands of women are being tortured by the regressive law.
मेरे हस्बैंड ने फ़ोन पे तलाक दिया है, मेरे से बच्चे छीन लिए गए हैं, अभी तक भी मेरे साथ बहुत जुल्म हो रहा है। मेरे हस्बैंड के भाई ने मेरे साथ ज़बरदस्ती करने की कोशिश की है और 1-2 महीने से इलेक्ट्रिक का लैंड भी काट दिया गया है। अभी भी मेरे ऊपर वो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा जुल्म कर रहे हैं।
The NDA government is yet to make its stand clear to the Supreme Court on the triple talaq issue, but refer the whole issue to the Law Commission for its recommendations. But when the court takes up the case soon, there will be a more drama in the courtroom. With Soure Gupta in Kolkata, this is Arunachalam Vaidyanathan, NDTV.
All right, social reform as far as Muslim divorce laws are concerned, is that something that is at all acceptable? A lot of people say that in fact in 2016 there is a desperate need to get rid of the triple talaq provision because it's absolutely retrograde. It's something that is perhaps no longer acceptable in today's context. Joining us to debate this, Zakia Nizami Soman, co-founder of the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan. Thanks very much for being with us. With me in the studio also Kamal Farooqi, member of the Muslim Personal Law Board. Zeenat Chaukat Ali, professor of Islamic Studies, joins me, as does Asma Zehra, member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, and Zafariab Jilani, member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. I'd like to thank all of you very much for being with us. Sir, let me come to you first. There are 22 countries in the world which have ruled that triple talaq should be illegal. There should be no place for it. Why doesn't India change its law?
Absolutely wrong interpretation, in fact. The people are quoting that so many countries have banned triple talaq. This is not correct, in fact. The situation is that every country has, some of the countries have made some suggestions as to this, like in Pakistan. They have asked that the triple, if at all the talaq is to be given, is to be registered with the government.
Yeah, so it's not over the phone. It's not a sheer utterance.
So no,
so triple talaq in the context of how we practice it in this country is not practiced in Bangladesh. It's not practiced in Pakistan. It's not recognized in Iran, in Tunisia, in Iraq, in Tunisia, in Algeria, in Turkey, or in Cyprus. Just a handful of countries.
We are not governed by these countries which you are referring to. We are governed by.
But that's a convenient excuse.
It may be not inconvenient to you. It is a convenient to me because this is my law, in fact, and my constitution has provided me this guarantee that I will be allowed to carry on my the laws according to my faith, and all these laws are in fact according to the faith. Anybody who is having the faith in Islam would have to follow the Sharia laws. That's it. If anybody doesn't want to follow the Sharia law, it is up to them.
Zakia Soman, it's a law that according to Farooqi Saab cannot be interpreted in any way differently. This is the law, this is the way it is, take it or leave it, it cannot be changed.
Actually, the fundamental prayer that we have made in the Supreme Court is that triple talaq should be abolished because it is un-Quranic. and all the Quranic evidence, including the verses, including the hadiths of the Prophet, form part of our petition. It is banned in several Muslim countries world over precisely because Quran has no mention of triple talaq. In fact, as per the Quran, the marriage is a social contract with equal rights to the husband and wife, and equal rights to the husband and wife to seek divorce. But Allah wants the husband and wife to go through an elaborate reconciliation procedure lasting over a period of 3 months, failing which mediation even, before arriving at such a serious decisions such as talaq. So, the question of triple talaq does not arise whatsoever in the Quranic context as well as per the Constitution of India. So, either way it is wrong, it is not Quranic, it is not constitutional, and it is high time that the Muslim women who were given the Quranic rights 1400 years ago, and it is also 70 years to India's independence, it's high time that the Muslim women get access to their Quranic rights.
Zakia is absolutely wrong while she is talking about the
Sir,
Quran.
I want to just go across to my other panelists. I'll come back to you in a moment. Jilani Saab, in court today it was argued that courts cannot supplant their own interpretation over scriptures. Husbands are in a better position to decide as they don't take any hasty decision. But the fact of the matter is, the reason we are debating this, one of the reasons is that hasty decisions are being taken. People are asking for divorce over the phone on SMS text messages. There are so many cases. Ishrat Jahan's case is one of those. Isn't it time for this to change?
You see, what the Supreme Court has been told by the Personal Law Board is about their own decisions. The Supreme Court has been reminded that Supreme Court itself has been taking the view, and 4 cases have been cited in para 2 of the counter affidavit, that in those cases, which were out of which 2 related to Hindu personal law and 2 related to Muslim personal law, in which the Supreme Court has itself said that in one case Supreme Court said that personal laws cannot be tested on the anvil of part 3 of the Constitution, that is fundamental rights. In another case, Supreme Court refused to set aside a provision of Hindu law on the ground of being violative of Article 14, saying that it is a tribal laws cannot be tested on this Article 14. In another case, Supreme Court said that this is a matter for the Parliament, we cannot interfere. In another case, the Supreme Court said that no, we will not interfere in personal laws. So they have, and they are all basing their judgments on other Supreme Court rulings and High Court rulings starting from 1952.
And yet the Supreme Court
so
is willing to listen to the case now.
Supreme Court has been reminded.
Exactly.
And
yes,
yet
yes,
the
yes,
Supreme
we are
Court
ready
is
to
willing to
listen.
listen
We are
to the
ready
case
to
now.
appear.
Listening does
Yes,
not mean
yes,
that they are making any
when
decision.
somebody
No,
goes.
listening
we are
doesn't
not
mean that they are
prejudging
making
what
a
the court has
decision.
to say,
Yeah,
but
because
they believe that despite whatever has been
We are
mentioned in
ready
the
to
past,
argue before
there are
Supreme
grounds
Court.
for it to be heard
offered.
now.
So
We have
let us have the
submitted.
grounds. We have also
submitted.
replied back.
So some of the grounds, sir, some of the grounds, and you mention it, is that there is a violation of Article 14 of the Constitution, equality, Article 15, non-discrimination, Article 21, life, and Article 25, religion. This is what the Supreme Court will judge this particular case on. Ma'am, Zeenat Shaukat Ali, ma'am, Professor of Islamic Studies, why do you believe, ma'am, that it is a basic violation of the Constitution which needs to be looked at in this case?
First, I would like to say that yes, certainly it is a violation of the Constitution, but before that I would like to correct Mr. Farooqi by saying that this is not mentioned in the Quran at all. The triple talaq in one sitting is neither mentioned in the Quran, and it is abhorred by the Prophet.
Exactly.
The Prophet hated divorce.
For your
of
kind
all
information,
permissible
during the
things,
life of Prophet Muhammad,
he
3
said
times it
that
was
he
given.
hated it.
Yes.
Please let me finish,
Yeah,
Mr. Farooqi.
because
I have not interrupted you. Kindly allow me to finish.
Yeah.
Ma'am, go ahead,
Triple
finish your
talaq
point.
in one sitting is absolutely forbidden. The Prophet in his lifetime, when a man by the name of Rukhana used a triple talaq on his wife and talaqed him, the Prophet, who never got angry, stood up, his face became red with anger, and he told him that are you fooling with the book of God while I am still alive? This is a hadith of Ibn Dasai, and it cannot be refuted. So that's point number 1. Triple talaq cannot be constitutional in Islam because it does not adhere to the in that period, you have to understand that in Islam, there is a 3-month period of waiting. And the moment a man pronounces the triple talaq, it becomes irrevocable, or in Arabic it is known as bain. Now, without an arbitration, the procedure that the Quran says is that because marriage is a strong bond between the husband and wife. A husband cannot in 3 seconds do away with his wife. So there's a procedure that is recommended by the Quran, which the triple talaq does not follow.
Okay, Faruqi Saab, would you like to
Point
respond to
number
that?
two,
There is a
one minute,
procedure, it is not this
Vishnuji,
instant process of seeking divorce that is being argued.
I'd like to say one more thing. The
Yes,
Muslim Personal Law Board has regarded this as a sinful and innovation and bidat. It is called talaq-e-bidat because bidat means innovation, and the Muslim Personal Law Board itself has called this form of divorce sinful and an innovation, something that the Prophet never practiced.
Okay,
and even
all right, ma'am. Faruqi Saab has a point to make. Yes, sir, go ahead.
One thing, what my sister is referring to Prophet Muhammad's lifetime itself. Yes, the divorce itself is the most unpleasant thing, and Prophet Muhammad has always been asking about don't do it in a haste, don't do it. And even during his lifetime, yes, he was very angry, but it was not repudiated. This divorce was not said, no, it is not divorce. Let me correct her about this. No, ma'am, please. I am also referring. You are a professor. I have also read it, and I can also quote you. No, ma'am, I can also quote it. But
Zeenat ma'am, will you wait for a moment? Let him make his point. We'll have plenty of time for everybody to have the. Go ahead. Yes.
All these things are a matter of record, and ma'am, we have given it in our petition itself. We have given.
Then why do you call it sinful, sir?
Please.
Why do you call it sinful, and why do you call it innovation?
Please, ma'am, you were very agitated when I was trying to. You were very agitated when I was trying to.
Finish your point, sir. Finish. She won't. Ma'am, just bear with us. Continue with your point, sir.
So, as far as these things, talaq is concerned, talaq is the most unpleasant thing in the allowable actions, in fact, in the allowable actions. But it is when it's an honorable exit route more in favor of the women, because we have seen in our Indian courts also that a person who wants to get separated, they take years together to get it.
And therefore, in the case of Ishrat Jahan, where her husband called her up from Dubai and said talaq, took possession of 4 children and is nowhere to be found, it is fair.
Our laws are sufficiently guarded as far as the women are concerned.
How are women sufficiently guarded if they are being told to get a divorce?
No, divorce is divorce. Divorce is divorce, but as far as the children maintenance is concerned, children's security is concerned, the women have got all the rights.
Well, in this particular case, the 4 children have been taken away in a separate country.
They will beat around the bush, Vishnu. They'll beat around the bush. They'll obfuscate the way they have been obfuscating for the last several decades. But the Muslim woman today is determined. They don't represent us.
No, and please do not represent. Please, let me tell you, you do not represent the Muslim women, because for representing Muslim women.
In a study done by the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan in 2015,
yes,
92%.
50,000 women. We can give you
92% of Muslim women in India want oral triple talaq banned.
All fighting. Not fighting to preserve the unjust order.
Please, for heaven's sake.
Demanding justice is any day higher than fighting to preserve an unjust order. That is what you signify. You signify injustice. You signify patriarchy. And you signify violation of the Quranic injunctions.
Please understand one thing.
All right.
As far as these things are concerned, these are according to the faith.
Faruqi sir, one moment. We've got
Asma. Who are you to decide my fate?
But you have to tell me.
One moment. Both of you, 1 minute. I've got other panelists also. Asma Zehra is also a member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. Asma Zehra, as a woman in 2016, when you see so many cases of women suffering, of women being forced to go under divorce under such circumstances, do you not believe that the time has come for triple talaq to be removed, legally removed from India?
Interference in the Muslim personal law is the violation of a basic fundamental right guaranteed to us in the Indian Constitution. The ladies shouting here, the 2 ladies, are not the appropriate authority. They are
you are the appropriate authority.
Who are going to decide what.
Because for this you have to follow religion.
What a joke.
Vishnu, not joke.
How can you say that they don't follow religion?
They must follow the religion.
But how can you say that they aren't religious? How can you say that?
They are not the ones who will decide the validity of talaq.
How dare you say
what
that?
we have told before the Supreme Court is every religion in this country is guaranteed their basic fundamental right, and we the Muslims also have our fundamental right. Muslim women are protected in the Muslim personal law.
Okay, 1 second, both of you. Listen, everybody shout. Yes, carry on. I will come to you. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Asma Zahra, continue.
Or either if they are separating us, the doors of divorce are kept open to relieve both the partners.
No, nobody is saying that the doors of divorce should be closed. All that is being said is that the manner of divorce needs to change.
They are not the competent authorities. These ladies are not the competent authorities.
But how are you a competent authority any more or any less than they are?
The Muslim Personal Law Board, the Muslim
But how are you any more or any less a competent authority, ma'am?
Authoritative on this issue, madam. Have you studied it?
See, the Quran and the Hadith is being practiced over 1400 years. The Quran and the Hadith is practiced over 1400 years. And what is in practice will be the rule.
Ma'am, we try not to shout on this channel. Zeenat ma'am, we really try hard not to shout. So let's not shout.
These women are working for the so-called Western
Okay, Asma Zahra, one moment. Let me just go back. Asma Zahra, let me go back to Zafaryab Jilani, who's been waiting. I want to go back to Jilani Saab.
Do not stand with these women.
Okay.
The 10 crore Muslim women, even
we do not stand by what you say. We reject you completely.
All right, Jilani Saab, just bring down sound, please. Bring down sound so that I can speak.
It's a fair.
I will be unfair. I will be unfair if all of you are unfair and shout. So I will bring everybody's sound down so that I can be heard. Jilani Saab, the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan in a survey in 2015 said 92% of Muslim women in India want oral triple talaq banned. 78% of women interviewed were divorced using triple talaq. Of these 92%, they say it needs to be changed. 55% of respondents were married before the age of 18. 91.7% Muslim women were against polygamy. This is what they have done in a study with what? About 1 lakh respondents in this particular case.
You authenticate them?
I'm no one to authenticate.
No, don't
I am merely saying that this is a report that they have come out with.
We do not know which
1 minute. Let Jilani Saab.
How it is done.
No, you can question it. I am neither questioning you nor am I questioning them. I'm only stating. Fine, that's fine. But Jilani Saab, these are the statistics which have been brought up. Please respond.
I have always said, you see, if you say it is the statistics of 1 lakh Muslim women, I offer you that you hold referendum in any district, in any city of India, and then you come to know through your own agency that how many Muslims, women, they want that Shariat law should be changed and how many do not. Therefore, we are ready for that. We are ready for any city of the country being taken up as an example, as a case, test case, where to know the Muslim women voice. This
but sir,
1 lakh or 1
But Jilani Saab, let me contradict myself.
Useless.
Let me contradict myself. A moment ago, I brought you this survey, but let me contradict myself by saying why should it be on the basis of percentages and what surveys say?
No,
why should it be a popular? So no. Therefore, the point I'm trying to make, sir, is that it needs to be decided by the court, and when the court takes this into account, they are not going to look at 92% of Muslim women in India want oral triple talaq ban. They will look at whether the constitution is being broken. Right. And therefore, Jilani Saab, is there not a very strong ground that the equality of women is being threatened? Their right to their faith is in a way being threatened as well. It's not these percentages, it's faith itself and whether our constitution can accommodate triple talaq as it presently stands.
You see, our constitution was amended at least twice to ensure and guarantee personal law to Mizoram people and Nagaland people. That is a part of our constitution.
Yes.
That is a solemn understanding given by the country to those people. How can you say that those laws are now to be tested on the basis of Article 14 or 15? This will come before the Supreme Court. All these arguments will be made before the Supreme Court. And then we are sure the Supreme Court is going to take into account all these things. That is why we say that Article 14 and 15 does not come into picture. It is for the Supreme Court to decide. So far the Supreme Court has been taking the view that no, we will not test personal laws on the anvil of Article 14 and 15. What the Supreme Court will do in future, we are
yeah, but they are hearing this
continue to
particular
wait.
case. It's been brought up again in the Ishrat Jahan case. In as much as Article 14 and 15, that's the Article 14 is equality, 15 is non-discrimination, 25 and 21, that's life and religion, are also being looked at closely because you feel those are being violated.
Yes, because the right to religious freedom enshrined in the Constitution applies equally to women and men. Right to religious freedom cannot be interpreted as a free license to men to oppress women. That is what, you know, in practicality, that has been the interpretation which these people seem to have been taking. So there is a beautiful amalgamation between right to religious freedom and secularism in the Constitution. And Quranic fundamental values are justice, kindness, compassion, equality and wisdom. And they are in harmony with the constitutional values of gender justice and social justice. So this is a false propaganda as though the Quran and the Constitution are at loggerheads. It is not at all true. In fact, gender justice is a fundamental principle of Islam, and that we feel by our own reading of the Quran. The Muslim woman today can read the Quran for herself. She can understand it for herself, she can translate it for herself, she can analyze the Quranic injunctions for herself, she can write and let the world know the commentary about the Quranic injunctions.
Okay.
And that is what, there is a global movement for gender justice in Islam. And the Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan is a part of that movement. And I think the day has come when gender justice in Islam takes place in our country also.
I take that point. We're running out of time. Asma Zehra, let me come across to you. Again, it's 2016. There is an international struggle for women's rights. There is a battle for women's rights in our country. Nobody is denying anybody the right to divorce or the right to separate. It's just the method in which it is done. And the goal over here, some would say, is to ensure that women are adequately protected. So therefore, ma'am, why do you continue to oppose this?
The Muslim women are protected. The Muslim women are protected in the Muslim personal law. There is no discrimination in the Muslim personal law. There is no suffering. All these talk about the suffering is a hype. It is a hype created by the media. The media is using the triple talaq issue to interfere in the basic
I think you are talking something rubbish.
The Muslim women are very well protected in the Muslim personal law.
There is no problem with our Sharia laws.
The entire Muslim community stands
But one moment, Asma ji, explain to me one thing. How do you say that triple talaq protects women? Women are protected under triple talaq presently. How are they protected when all it needs is a man to say talaq 3 times and a person is divorced?
No. See, the percentage of divorce is the least in the Muslim community. It is not the issue of the Muslim community. Whatever is being projected by the so-called Andolans and women's organizations, they are working as a tool to vested interest.
No, ma'am, you are accusing them of vested interest, but you are not answering a basic question.
Yes, definitely.
You are not answering a basic question. How are women protected?
I will answer your basic question.
Yeah,
last 30 seconds. How are women protected? Sorry, I don't have time.
Vishnu, we have the hold on, madam. We have the Constitution of India. Everybody knows it, and as my sister is saying that we can read it, we can all those, but as far as the interpretation is concerned, we need to have the jurisprudence, we need to have the lawyers, we need to have the experts about it. Likewise, even the Quran, she says yes, she can read it, she can also translate it, but as far as understanding the Quran is concerned, it is not my job or her job. It has to be used in context of the.
Well, in this case, ultimately the job of interpretation and the job of
whether it is not your job, it is not my job to interpret
whether this law can remain or change is in the hands of the Supreme Court. It's a very important case that will directly affect the lives of millions of people. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us. It's a very heated debate tonight. Justice ultimately, as usual, will come from the courts.